and welcome to Live, Love, Grow. It's Sunday Fun Day, so I thought that I'd have a little fun with the intro today. So I'm Kim, your guide, and today I'd like to talk to you about taking yourself from a place of self-consciousness to self-confidence. It's something that played a real featuring role in my life, and it wasn't until I rose above to see the bigger picture of things and change my perspective on how I saw the world. And in my experience, this is what I did to help me quickly overcome the feeling of self-consciousness, because that's looking outside of yourself and that feedback loop that comes back to you, and it's not trusting in your own ability. When you start trusting in your own ability and standing in your own truth and being real, raw and authentic, you come into a place of self-confidence and you start building really solid foundations. So what was my trick? My trick was I started to see the world as a really big stage. And on that stage, in my story, I played the starring role. The people around me who were very close to me played major parts. And then people who came in and out of my life played guest appearances or cameo roles. And then the people who we pass on the street or when we're driving in our car that create, maybe minor irritations that pull in front of us when, there's not enough room and we have a response. Well, they're like the extras. So when I started to see life from this perspective, it started to take on a whole new picture. I started to not see things so personally or take them so personally in my life, and I just started to see what this situation was telling me, as opposed to thinking, why me, why me? So I shifted from a victim mentality into a curious seeking as to what was I doing? What were the choices that I was making in my life to have this experience show up? And what can I learn from this experience? And when I started to do that, things started to really shift and change. I started to understand that everybody has their own internal programming and their own filters. So how they see life is determined in accordance to their beliefs, their memories, the programs that they run, and all these filters that they run. So 10 people can see the same or be in the same experience and have a different experience of it, because the way they see through their eyes. And when we stop taking things so personally and just see it as when we're in exchanges with people that they're projecting their issues onto you, and it's their issues, but they are creating conditions. And the conditions that they are creating are the things that trigger within you. So what comes up for you, that's yours to own. What emotion, what kind of feeling is it eliciting within you? And you then start to go from a place of, instead of reacting, you just take a few deep breaths while you're thinking about this trigger and what is the underlying issue of that trigger. And then you can respond, because you're actually responding in a way at a higher perspective or a higher level of consciousness, which then has the ability to resolve the situation and take the heat out of a situation. Instead of, when you react, you're meeting a person in that same vibrational state. So if they're being aggressive towards you, you'll get your back up, and you too will reply or react in an aggressive way. But when you take that time to understand and own what it is that's coming up for you, take a few deep breaths just to compose, center, and balance yourself, then you can come from that higher perspective where you put yourself in that other person's shoes as well and understand where they're coming from. It really, really does help to diffuse situations, and it's like a form of mediation. So it's actually approaching things with, greater maturity, and it's how you are showing up in the world, and that in itself shines a light so bright. Anyway, I hope you're having a fun Sunday, and here's a little bit more music that we can groove around to. So love, light and blessings from my heart to yours, and I'll be back real soon. Enjoy your day. Blessings. Bye.